Hello and welcome back to another episode of Stu's Reviews. So it's that time again where I take a look at some financial technology to bring your money into the future with some gadgety type of application or thing. This month, FinTech Finance have asked me to take a look at this. Hold on. This. N26. This is the point I'd usually do some fancy product shots of the card. However, there's a big problem with this. This card is see-through, so I've had to cover it in horrible, ugly masking tape to stop you from stealing my money. Now, apologies for the garish masking tape on the bottom. I obviously don't want you to get any of my details and money, and it's quite difficult to show you that card without masking that off because it's completely see-through, as you've just seen. Now, N26 is a challenger bank. Yes, I know, another challenger bank. There are so many, and if you're not familiar with the term, basically, challenger bank is a new type of bank that focuses primarily on technology and generally customer service. Rather than being these old infrastructure banks like horrible stuffy things you see on the British High Street, challenger banks are new, they're modern, they're crisp, and they offer a new gadgety, techie way to interact with your money. And N26 is just one of many. Now, I've already reviewed things like Monzo, and if you want to see that review, you can check that out in the links below or by clicking there. But this time, I want to deep dive into N26. So N26 is an EU-based challenger bank. They started in the European Union, and they've only just come across to the UK. And apparently they're planning on going to the US this year as well. So they seem to be very, very, very quickly growing. And I want to know why. So, let's have a deep dive into what they offer. Now, on the surface, it would seem that they offer quite a comprehensive option of accounts. First of all, they do a personal account and they do a business account. Within the personal account, they also do a couple of options. So let's just run through them. Now, okay, fine. The personal account has a lot of features that you'd expect from one of these new tech-oriented banks. A cool looking card which is see-through. I mean, you compare that to other cards like Monzo, which is bright orange/pink, or I think they call it coral. You've got Starling, which is teal. You've got Curve, which is very, very sleek. All of them seem to have these cool looking cards. So that's no different. It's got push notifications, so every time you spend, you get a notification on your phone. It's got instant transactions, which is all very, very similar to the rest. However, it does have a couple of things that I quite like. First of all, it's got TransferWise built into the actual app itself. Now, that means that anyone familiar with TransferWise will know what it means, but it means that you can send money in up to 19 different currencies around the world for pretty cheap. Nearing on free, which is pretty good. And I like the fact they've built that in as an extension within the app. And it's something that actually none of the other challenger banks that I've tried so far have done. So that's a big benefit. But that's a benefit. Let's talk about the negative. This is something that makes it different from the other challenger banks in the fact that it's not fee-free to spend abroad. Which is very, very strange, because I've tried Curve, that's pretty much fee-free. I've tried Monzo, that's pretty much fee-free. Starling, again, pretty much fee-free. This isn't. However, it is if you upgrade to their Black account, which then gives you travel insurance as well as the no fees payments and withdrawals abroad. However, that costs €9.90 a month. No idea what that is in British pounds, but €9.90 a month. But with Starling and Monzo and Curve, it's free to an extent. Well, that definitely sets it apart in necessarily not a good way. But there's also a further upgrade you can do called Metal. Now, I'm a sucker for things like metal cards. I've got the curved metal one, that's the one I use on a regular basis, and actually I haven't done a review of that, so you probably haven't seen it at the moment. But metal cards make you feel great, especially when you're using it in a shop and they take it off and you're like, oh, what's this? It's really heavy. It's a really good feeling, and I don't know why it's a good feeling, but it's definitely designed for people like me who are idiots and want to spend money on something like a metal card. But it does come with some added benefits, just like the N26 metal. There is, however, a however. Number one, the metal account gives you priority access to support. I don't like this, because if you're storing money somewhere with the bank account in an institution, I'd want priority support full bloody stop. I don't want to have to pay to get support. I should just get priority support because I'm giving them money, or my money is stored in their accounts. I don't like the fact that you can pay to have better support. I think that's a bit naughty. That's my own opinion though. The other thing that the metal account gives you is discounts. However, again, there's however. It's €17 a month, and I can't even see what discounts they offer. So this is the web page. Now, if I scroll down and click here, overall not too good. But let's move on to the business accounts, which this is quite good. So business accounts are completely free, and it gives you pretty much the same sort of stuff that's on the standard account. But it also gives you 0.1% cashback on everything that you spend from your business account, which is pretty good. And I don't know any free business account that offers a 0.1% cashback on your purchases. Okay, fine, that's not a lot. You'd have to spend £1,000 before you even get £1 back. But it is free money, and you can't complain at that. Enough talking about the actual accounts and their offerings. Let's dive into the app and have a look how easy it is to use. So this is the interface we're met with. We've got a timeline of stuff that we've purchased that you can see here, and you've got all the prices down on the right hand side. Now straight away there's one really cool little feature with this that I just love, and it's called, I think it's called privacy, or they call it something like that. Basically, you can use the proximity sensor on the phone to hide all of the money. So if you've been spending money on content you possibly shouldn't have been spending it on, then you can hide it in front of your respective partners by doing this. Ready? Did you see that? So as I wave my finger, watch it on the screen. In fact, I'm going to do a close-up of this now because it's just incredible. So basically that is like a magic trick with your finances, and I love it. And actually when it is blurred out, you can still scroll up and down and see the things that you bought without seeing the actual price. Nowhere else has this. I've tried all of them, or most of them. I've tried a lot of different challenger banks and banks, and I've not seen anything like this that uses the proximity sensor in such a fun way. So yeah, big points up for that. Very, very cool. Along the bottom, we've got a few other bits and bobs. So let's tap on this next one here. This is Spaces. Okay, so this basically is very similar to a lot of the other things. Basically like creating a little account to one side for you to save money. Now, one thing I do like about this, again, is something that I'm not seeing in any of the other apps so far, is this. You can actually see it already telling me to drag and drop to move money. So let's say I have multiple spaces. I'm going to save, I'm going to call this one Barcelona, how do you spell that? Is that right? Let's go with that. Okay, I'm going to agree and create space. So I can essentially just drag and drop my accounts. So I drag this and I'm going to drag it down here to Barcelona, and I'm going to move 0.1. Continue. What's this transaction for? Barcelona. Confirm. Thanks. There we are, and it's done. Moved it, and I can do the same again. If I want to put some more money in the whiskey pot here, I can put 0.4. That is for my alcoholism. There we are. Okay. And it moves it across. So it's quite a nice interactive way of moving stuff to the spaces. One thing is a bit weird, though, is it asks me to describe what that transaction is for each time I do it. So I don't know why. Is that because these are actual accounts? I don't know. Savings of accounts, blah, 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 blah. Don't know. But again, no other challenger bank has quite as fluid a way of transferring between your spaces or your pots. But the criticism here is that it does ask you every single time to describe why you're doing that transaction, which is a bit of a pain, but never mind. Okay, moving on, we've got the plus button at the bottom, and this is exactly what you think it is. It's basically a transfer. You can transfer directly into here, you can transfer out of here, and this is the way you do it. And it also uses something called Money Beam, which is quite cool. It just transfers directly to other people who have the N26 app. Although, the request section here, I like the fact that you can request money in the other apps. This one, again, N26 are falling behind a little bit with, because at this moment in time you can't do it. Apparently, though, it's coming soon. So, watch that space. Now, this last tab is essentially where you can upgrade to the different accounts they've got available, the black and the metal. Which we've already been through. So we'll breeze over that here. Lastly, we've got this page here, which I blanked out the top because that has my account details in. But it's got a little ATM map at the bottom, which is quite handy, just showing you where the ATM stuff is. Now, the card settings is quite interesting. Again, I've blanked out the actual card here so you can't see it. But you can add Apple Pay directly from the app, which is a nice touch. You can obviously enable and disable certain things like online payments and payments abroad, and also things like cash withdrawals. You can also reset the PIN. Now, there was a little bit of an issue with this when I went to reset my PIN, because I'd forgotten it when I went to use it, is the fact that you are a little bit stuck with what you can choose as a PIN. You can't have multiple numbers in a row, which is fine. You shouldn't anyway, but lots of people like to have multiple numbers in a row. With this, it doesn't. In fact, it's got quite a lot of stringent rules that they've set that essentially command how you set your PIN, which is a bit annoying, but it doesn't matter too much. That's just me being a bit nitpicky in that respect. But like a lot of the challenger banks, cool thing from here is you can reorder it and you can lock the card as well. So if you are abroad or you are traveling, you are away and you lose it or it gets stolen, you can lock it directly from the app. So that's a really nice touch. Now, there is one huge benefit of N26 that quite a lot of challenger banks don't have. And that is the fact that N26 have a web app as well as the app on your phone. Now, a lot of challenger banks, you're stuck managing with your phone, which is all very well and good. But if you lose your phone and you don't have one for a short amount of time, you can't manage your money because they don't have web apps, which I think is a massive oversight for quite a few of these banks. N26 thankfully allow you to access stuff via the web. So let's just take a very quick peek at that. So you can see it's actually very, very, very similar to the app. You can access all of your transactions on here. You can see what you've been spending. You can see your balance, and you can even go to things like your spaces on here. So you can see your savings pots, and you can move the money around from there. You can also send money to people by pressing the plus button. So overall, it's quite comprehensive. So overall, whilst N26 has some amazing features, it's also let down by some potentially not so amazing features. There seems to be always a however. If I was going to be analytical and say who this would benefit the most, I'd probably say it would benefit a sole trader the most, potentially a sole trader who doesn't do much travelling. Because of that 0.1% cashback, and because you can manage it from your phone and a web app, it makes it quite safe and it makes it quite easy to use, and you're getting money back for it. But at the end of the day, it could be suited to anyone. I mean, you might see some features there that you really, really like. So all I'd say is give it a go yourselves. What I'll do is I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check it out yourselves, sign up to it. Like I said, it's free, give it a go, and you might find it really, really useful to you. Is it something I'm going to continue using? Well, for me, it doesn't have fee-free spending abroad, which I absolutely need. Okay, I could pay the €9.90 a month, but I don't think I'm going to use it that much abroad. I will use it a bit, maybe once every couple of months, but not €9.90 worth. So for me, it's probably not worth using on a regular basis, but I can imagine for a lot of you out there, it probably is. And that concludes today's review. Guys, if you liked today's video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you back for another episode of Stu's Reviews soon. Before you go, consider supporting me on my Patreon page by clicking here. It'll give you some great discounts on stuff I've reviewed and helps me to continue doing reviews. If you want to see some fun stuff, click here to see the highlights of Stu's Reviews. And, as a friendly reminder, click this button to subscribe.